So guess what I just did today? I just came back from the Kuroshitsuji live action movie. It's been released in Hong Kong since yesterday. And yes, for those of you who would ask, this movie looks so suspicious, why would you go see in the first place? I would have to say I had great fun, and I'm gonna tell you why. So first of all, let's clear some of the questions a lot of you might have with regard to this movie. One, no, it has no direct connection to the canon in terms of the plot line. I mean, an easier way to understand where this movie situates itself within the whole Kuroshitsuji universe would be that this movie, it's a futuristic alternative universe of the canon story. And I will explain a little bit more later. But this is a place where, yes, Sebastian still wears his tuxedos, you know, and there's a lot of, you know, Victorian English sort of atmosphere going on. But on the other hand, you also have, there are a lot of scenes with very disposable modern technology or even, you know, futuristic technology. So it's definitely not a continuation of the manga or the anime or whatever whatsoever. You can see it as a standalone movie in itself, and I think if you see it that way, it's easier for you to enjoy the movie. And even, you know, if you actually look at the family name of the discount seal, Genpo, that their last name Genpo was actually kind of directly translated from the seal's last name Phantom Hive anyway. So there's still a lot of references to the canon, but it's definitely not a continuation of the canon story. Just clear that out. And also, there is no mention of any actual nation, you know, actual country, because it's an alternative universe. So in their world, the whole globe is separated to two parts: the east part and the west part. And, you know, the queen lives in the west part, and the Genpo family lives in the east part, but they act as, you know, the queen's watchdog on behalf of the queen from the west, if you know what I mean. So these are some of the most basic questions that you might have with regard to this movie. So just to get the little things out of the way, the set was beautiful, and, you know, the items they used and the different designs, the details, the atmosphere, the gothic styles, everything was pretty good. The CGI was okay. The opening was okay. I like the opening a lot. And, you know, the dark gothic atmosphere is still there pretty much all the time. So, you know, if you enjoyed that in the manga, you're probably gonna see that a lot in the movie as well. And the music was great. The theme song was pretty nice. Although I can't really remember. I'm not very good at, you know, remembering those stuff. And then I also have to point out that the action scenes were terrific. But I will go a little bit more detail in that because it concerns specific actors. As for the story, it really has no direct link to the canon, but it is a mixture of a number of very early manga storylines, you know, including the kidnapping, the human trafficking parts, and then a very heavy reference from the Madame Red storyline, but without Grill, which is a good thing, just to avoid a lot of awkwardness going on. But yeah, that's pretty much the story in general. Oh, and then you also have how the Seal's parents getting killed. You know, there was also kind of a clone of that story as well. And kind of that's pretty much the whole movie. Now let's cut to the characters, which I can't wait to talk about. I mean, if you've been keeping an eye on the updates of this movie, you'll know that a lot of the characters are taken from the manga canon and repackaged to become the original character that they are right now in this movie. You know, they also have strong resemblance with their manga origins. Except Sebastian, Sebastian's kind of directly ripped from the manga itself. And I think if you enjoyed manga Sebastian, if you enjoyed canon Sebastian, Mitsushima Hiro would be a terrific Sebastian, I would have to say. I loved his performance in this movie. You know, I think he would be the kind of Sebastian that you want to see, you know, when Kuroshitsuji in any stage becomes a live action movie. He is just like manga Sebastian, you know, how, you know, he's all snarky and, you know, always with so done with you people face. And yeah, and I mean, he's pretty. So, you know, if you're those particularly critical kind of audience, you know, that you have very low tolerance to live action movie of any kind, you know, he would be the only person that could make this 2-hour movie bearable for you. You know, if you're the particular choosy ones. I'm not a choosy person. I thought he did great, and it was such a his performance was very enjoyable. It was such a fun to watch. And yes, I think he would be the exactly kind of Sebastian that you want to see in the movie. And then you have the discount Seal, who's played by Ngopiki Ayame. Her performance was a little bit dry. I mean, it was okay, not particularly outstanding. It's mediocre, but I mean, I don't really blame her because, you know, there's really not much to her character. Because I mean, the age is different from the manga, because in the manga Seal's 13, but her character in the movie is 17. So her way of dealing with things and, you know, the way she acts and talks around other people is actually a little bit different from what you would expect from Seal. So there's really not much of a comparison there. And, you know, also she's a cross-dressing girl, so it's even more different. And then you also have discount Madame Red, played by Yuka. I thought she was really gorgeous in this movie. And her character carries a lot of emotion. Like there was a roller coaster of emotion towards the end of the movie, and I thought she was trying her best, but I don't think her acting could really carry the weight of the emotions. So I was a little bit disappointed at her acting, but I mean, she was pretty. And then you have the maid, discount Maylene. She was really cute, and she would be a great canon Maylene as well. If you're thinking about really doing a canon remake of Kuroshitsuji, she would be a pretty good Maylene. She's adorable, and then her action. There's one scene where she's just kicking ass, which was probably the best action scene in the whole movie. So I really like that part. And so I thought she was great. She was really cute, and the glasses reference was also taken from the manga. And then you have this original character called Akeshi, who is the butler of Yuka's character. You know, discount Madame Red. So Akeshi is the butler of discount Madame Red, but Akeshi is nowhere near a discount Growler. Like he just doesn't resemble Growler in any way, except, you know, they're the butler of Madame Red. So, but I thought he was a pretty cool character, because there was a scene towards the end where he was almost really kicking Sebastian's ass, like for real, like he's human, but he was kicking Sebastian's ass like real hard. And I thought if this character never uttered a single word throughout the movie, he would be even cooler. Like, he would be a better character. But too bad, like towards the end of the fight, he says something. So I was like, no. I was hoping that he would never say anything, so that would make him a very cool character. And then you also have discount Tanaka, who literally didn't say anything in this movie. He was just sitting around all the time, driving or like drinking tea, which they said is actually lemonade in this movie, which is kind of fun. But I mean, yeah. He didn't really say anything, and I mean, he would make a great canon Tanaka as well. And then you have this discount Undertaker, whose name is Jay right now in this movie, that a lot of people were talking about before the movie was released. Turns out his parts were so insignificant in the movie that you wouldn't feel a thing if, you know, he was totally cut out from the movie. Like, he was only there for one scene, and it was like just minutes. It was really short, and he never showed up again. I thought he would show up again, but he never showed up. He was only there for one scene. He only showed up once. But I thought he was kind of cute. You know, the costume was very shiny and sharp, and you know, he got all that creepy queerness of Undertaker out a little bit. You know, of course he's not like the canon Undertaker, but I thought, you know, he was actually a pretty interesting character if he had more lines. And I mean, he was really only there for a very, very short period of time, and you know, he never showed up again. I was kind of disappointed. I actually wanted to see more of him. And then you also have Discount Vincent, Rachel Phantom Hive. You have Discount Policeman, and then you also have Discount Charles, who's associate of the Queen, messenger of the Queen to be exact. And so, well, there's nothing much to it. And I mean, these characters were okay. You know, I thought the policemen were gonna have a bigger role in this movie. Turns out they don't. They're just they just show up to be beaten by Sebastian, which is kind of expected. And yeah, so that would be the characters. So overall, I would give this movie 7 points out of 10. You know, you might think it's too high, but I would have to say, you know, 5 points are to Mizushima Hiro's Sebastian. He's terrific Sebastian. I love it. And 0.5 would be for the atmosphere, the gothic styles, the designs, you know, the art part in general. 0.5 to the music, 0.5 to the action scenes, and 0.5 for the cats. Yeah, the cats. You know, there are a couple of scenes in this movie where Sebastian are holding cats or feeding them. You know, and he has all this expression on his face. You know, he's like on the edge of a orgasm or something. But it was pretty cute, and it was a nice reference to the manga canon as well. So in general, I thought this movie was a really fun watch. I really enjoyed it. And, you know, however you felt about this movie in the beginning, you find it suspicious, or you think it's you know, I always see it as a fan movie. Like, it's really, you shouldn't be expecting, you know, anything canon. But then you'll kind of be surprised by some of their references, and some of their lines are taken directly from the manga as well. So, you know, if you go without any expectation, you'll actually come out of the cinema feeling, oh, that was a pretty decent movie in general. You know, of course, there are places in this movie that are so lame that you just, you know, you just want to go, no, but those scenes are very, very, very few. So in general, I thought this was a nice live-action movie within the Kuroshitsuji universe, although nowhere near the canon. But I thought it was a pretty good remake, alternate universe of what you would consider Kuroshitsuji canon. And so, I mean, I didn't have it's very late at night right now in Hong Kong, and so I probably just kind of rushed through everything. I didn't. But if you want me to elaborate on anything else about this movie, if you want to ask me questions, yeah, feel free to do so, and then I will either reply you with another video or just by text. I'll write it down for you. And so yeah, I hope you enjoy my review, and if the DVD release is next month, you know, if you have a chance to see it, I would say, you know, if you have a few hours to spare, it wouldn't be a bad choice. And so yeah, that will be my review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.